So I'm going to carry on with America's liberation, okay? So I'm kind of really disappointed in this orientation meeting, how obedient all my so-called colleagues have been. They've been kissing ass the entire time, and the worst thing about a kiss ass is that you know that I'm going to be a teacher, right? So these kiss asses, if I was the teacher in this class, they'd be kissing my ass. We could be teaching each other. We could be developing decent, progressive, cooperative relationships. But instead, there's all this fucking jealousy. There's all this fucking Hunger Games sort of a battle royale, Lord of the Flies type shit going on. You got bell curve. Only some people can get the A's, and the other people are going to get F's, or they're going to get humiliated and treated like shit. So, this new crop of teachers, right, they need to get out to the workforce, get good jobs, provide meaningful knowledge for the rest of society's children. In order to do the same, have no comprehension of solidarity, dignity, independence, morality, ethics, principles, peace, equality, or freedom. And so while my freedom, justice, democracy, peace, and humanity in the classroom experiment may prove unsuccessful, at least I'm trying. You know, if you don't even try, then you've already lost. So I'll attempt to treat my students as I'd like to be treated myself. That's basically the debate right now. The Julie Chancellor, her rule is you must yell at students. You must yell at the students. You can't tell them the truth about anything. You have to defend the rich bankers. And you're allowed to pass off information that's like historically inaccurate. Julie Chancellor was a piece of shit. She was a piece of shit. She was a Nazi fascist piece of shit. And so she was a total fucking asshole. And she was a fucking fascist, manipulative, oppressor piece of shit. Okay, so the I love the golden rule, and then the Christians, you think there'd be more folks just like me. Regardless, what is frustrating is while I can stand up to the teacher and say things to the teacher, it's usually the comments of my so-called colleagues that get me to comply and shut me up. When they all go in like stupid sheep that they are, right? When Kristen Harris was sitting there telling us just to move all scrunched up into the first two rows, all scrunched up and tight, real close together, they all fucking blindly did it. Heather smiled and acted like she was just kidding or whatever, but she wasn't fucking kidding. She was being fucking serious. Everybody fucking get, you know, where the fuck she tells you to fucking go, because you're nobody and you're nothing. So shut the fuck up and do as you're fucking told. And so my colleagues will be entering school as immoral oppressors, as professors who have already mentally dehumanized their future American students and will implement their oppressive management plans on top of the students' heads against their wills, without giving their souls a moment's chance to breathe, exist, manifest, and shine, just as God made them. The most potent weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. And so that's, you know, that's very true. That's remarkable. They're opening a Pandora's box, because in order to get your students to comply, you have to be an asshole, but you can't cuss, right? You can't say any cuss words. You have to bypass polite society. You have to say, well, I told them to do this and they just wouldn't do it. I mean, motherfucker, sometimes you can't even hear somebody, the tone, the way they say something. There was this, I had this, it was like a little tiny middle manager. It was at UDF, and the manager would come over to me. It was the shift manager, okay? So it was like $1 more than everybody else, but really it was just a shift. I don't know. It just felt like it was not really much authority. And the shift manager would come over to me and say, you need to clean up the cooler, and then just walk away. Not asking me to do it, not saying it needs to get done, just saying, hey, this thing needs to get done, then fucking walk, not caring what I was doing, if I had other plans, you know. And that got under my fucking skin, like, who the fuck are you just to dictate to me, like, who the fuck you know what I mean? Like, just pigs to the fucking slaughter, just go do this. You don't even respect me, so why the fuck should I listen to what you say? You come at me with a respectful tone, but she was just ordering me around like a dog and then just fucking walking away, you know, not saying whether or not what the plan was, where is it coming from, why has it got to be done at this particular second, and other questions. So they my colleagues, they're opening Pandora's box. They don't have any morals or ethics themselves, and they're going to be fucking oppressive assholes, just like the fucking oppressive assholes for 2.5 fucking years at Spalding University that have fucked with me. Students who acquire large debts putting themselves through school are unlikely to think about changing society. When you trap people in a system of debt, they can't afford the time to think. Tuition fee increases are a disciplinary technique, and by the time students graduate, they are not only loaded with debt, but also have internalized the disciplinarian culture. So it makes them very efficient components of the consumer economy. But they've internalized the disciplinarian culture. To them, that's all you can. You can't motivate anybody. You have to get in their face and just yell at them. Kristen Harris defended this person. So the story in class is a teacher sitting there yelling at a kid's face. You need to do your work. You're never doing your thing. How come you ain't doing this? How dare you? And if I was to do the same shit, I mean, you know, like, well, how come you're a fascist asshole? Why are you a fucking oppressor? Why do you have to fucking take away my fucking freedom in order for you to fucking give a shit about what the fuck I'm doing? You have to fucking make me a goddamn object. Why do you have to dehumanize me? Why do you got to emasculate me? Why do you got to make me your slave? Why do I got to be a slave in this society? Why are you making me an order taker? Why are you making me, forcing me to just be some sort of blind sheep following, you know, just blind obedience is why we got war, genocide, and slavery. But you see, the disciplinarian culture, they internalize that, right? And so they will see that fascism in people who act like they got it all together, and they treat the students like assholes. Like Julia Chancellor, she never says, fuck you, you asshole. She never said that, right? So she must be a good person because she doesn't cuss. No, that's some bullshit. I think actually in American society we need to get away from just being like fucking Puritan. You know, when somebody says you need to fucking, you know, do what I tell you to do, my first response, natural response is fuck you. No, I don't have to do what you tell me to do. I don't. And I'm a free person, a free agent. As an American, we should love our, you know, rights, our humanity, and who we are. We should not just be willingly just become someone's slave just to fucking, you know, just to fucking do it. That just doesn't seem, you know, that makes no sense at all. So when the oppressor disrespects me, my feelings are hurt because I do not understand why another person would want to hurt another person. It's just fucking natural to these fucking piece of shit motherfuckers too. So you have, you know, the establishment, the white female educational establishment in America. It is natural. Fascism to them is very natural. Julie Chancellor, she fucking, oh, I'm going to call ISAP, you know, I'm going to call security, I'm going to call this, I'm going to call it Pat Todd the same way. Oh, I'm going to call them, I'm going to get my friend, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get this, you're going to fucking go down. Like, you piece of shit, you were already on some fucking butt shit anyways. You was talking to everybody like they're a bunch of fucking assholes. And now that I'm saying, hey, you're kind of being an asshole to everybody, it's like, how dare you call me out? How dare you? Now I'm going to fucking escalate my assholeness. And that's expected out of a fucking fascist. That's what fascists fucking do. You know, they'll sit there and they'll do anything and everything in the world to you. Fucking talk down to you, sit there and laugh at you, fucking pretend like you're stupid and shit. And it's okay for them to do that. But if you treated them that way, they would automatically fucking flip a lid and they would have fucked me over a long ass fucking time ago. So, okay, let's keep on going. America's Liberation Education is my revolutionary educational treatise about my idealized version of education. So when the oppressor disrespects me, my feelings are hurt because I don't understand that. No, I don't get that. The first rule of life is to never hurt anybody else. Okay? So because I do not understand why another person would want to hurt another, but even worse, because of my own silence and submission to the psychopathic oppressor's insanity, I too die on the inside. And so this is actually, I'm not writing about how dare they do this to me. The way I was going to do school, Kristen Harris tells on herself because she's a fucking piece of shit. She knows she's a fucking low-life, psychopathic fucking asshole who's got no morals or ethics and only cares about controlling people. And so I give her the jitters because she knows that she's the fucking fascist that I fucking, you know, have nightmares about. She fucking knows that she's an asshole. She fucking knows it. And even though what I was going to do in the classroom is basically just have a minimal presence there. Sit, take my notes, participate whenever they want me to participate, but not take over the room, not declare I am here, hear me roar, or anything like that. Just, there's one kid that he did school like you didn't even know he was there. When he got up to do his presentation, he did a really kick-ass job. Seemed pretty thoughtful and intelligent young man. I was wanting to do education like that, but instead I never got the chance to even do it that way, you know. Basically, once they got me to be a compliant fucking piece of shit, once they got me to be one of their fucking slaves, then I was just blindly doing whatever the fuck. Alright, fine, you want me to go over here? Alright, I'm going over there. You want me to go over there? Fine, I'll go over there. That's what the fuck, you know, these so-called professionals are going to be doing. They don't question authority. They don't question any order that's told to them. They just fucking do it if it's somebody that they perceive as being superior. and you know, because they're going to be fucking order takers. They're going to expect their fucking students to be order takers, but they're getting paid. The students ain't getting nothing. The students getting no fucking compensation for selling their fucking soul down the river. So what am I supposed to do? What am I able to do? I mean, I have $100,000 riding on my education too, just as my colleagues do. So we got shit tons of money, and I want to be on the winning side. My inclinations towards my own liberation, as well as everybody else's, is constantly, routinely checked by fascist oppressors, and the fascist oppressors obedient human pets, who tend to be crueler than their own master. You criticize a wise person, they'll thank you, since your correction can only make their understanding about the world better. But if you criticize an idiot, they automatically belly up and act the fool you had suspected that they were when they initially showed you their true colors. They're showing you their fish belly. They're admitting that there's a crack in the dam. When I say Santa Claus is not real, just because you yelled louder and covered up the verbal distribution of truth, public speaking, to prevent the truth from ever possibly penetrating the young minds of who you want to lie to, it doesn't change the truth. My God, if children knew that the adults were lying about Santa Claus, what else could they be lying about? Could this entire educational system be built just for teachers to justify their own pitiful and useless existence by being manipulating, managing, bullying buttholes? It's no wonder that teachers do not see the epidemic of bullying in their own school systems. And also, you got studies that show that bullies do well in life. It's the weak and the timid who don't. It's also logical. Bullies, while displaying characteristics most would not say are virtuous, have at least figured out a way to get power. You can get folks to do what you want by choice or by force. By force leaves no prisoners. Both the bully and the oppressor lean on force and fear in order to get their students to submit to the all-powerful sage on the stage deity, the rock star God. I even had a professor that said, I am God. I'm God. And to get the student to give you their lunch money, as an oppressor, you must get order. Even if it means sacrificing education, you must get order through micromanaging the fuck out of your students. Get in their face, threaten them with in-school suspension, call their fucking parents, humiliate them, give them the look as if you want to punch them in the face repeatedly if they continue their behavior. As long as you do not cuss, utter racial slurs, the oppressor is pretty much entitled to use whatever means are at their disposal in order to get order or complete domination in their mini totalitarian society. In the end, the police will support the authority figure in the room and will generally arrest the children who are innocent and physically weaker and have less ties and network support in the neighborhood. Probably lower legal funds too, no liability insurance, etc. Even if the children were right when they declare that the teachers should not be allowed to steal their $400 cell phones or $400 piece of property, since the Kentucky Constitution protects property. Is that what adults do? Rob each other? I mean, is that what the fuck they do? They're such fucking hypocrites. Adults belittle and demean children to force them into submission and compliance? No. No. True adults teach a true and proper education. Those who are teaching a proper and true education do not behave like this. The American education system is asymmetrical warfare. This is Christopher Columbus genociding the Taino and Arawak Indians for his own selfish benefit, not for the Native Americans, but for the Spanish conquistadors, for the oppressors. American education is the Hunger Games, Battle Royale, Animal Farm, Lord of the Flies, Brave New World, all wrapped up into one. If a child lives with criticism, he learns to condemn. If a child lives with hostility, he learns to fight. If a child lives with ridicule, he learns to be shy. If a child lives with shame, he learns to feel guilty. If a child lives with tolerance, he learns to be patient. If a child lives with encouragement, he learns confidence. If a child lives with praise, he learns to appreciate. If a child lives with security, he learns to have faith. If a child lives with approval, he learns to like himself. If the child lives with acceptance and friendship, he learns to find love in the world. Nolte, 1998. So these fascist oppressors, they'll fucking use anything and everything. And that's another thing. Overall, what has Spalding University actually fucking taught anybody? Overall, what the fuck did they teach anybody? They taught oppression. You know, they taught that they're over everybody else. But they didn't teach me how to be a better teacher. They didn't teach me the public speaking skills that I wanted to learn. My PowerPoints for 2.5 years, I could have been reading my material and working on the PowerPoints that I need to be teaching in the classroom. Basically, all the things that I needed to do in order to become a teacher. Spalding University blocked it, stopped the education from happening, and then pushed me to go into a complete fucking backwards and opposite direction than what any human being should be expected to go. We should all be leaders. We should not be oppressed. We should not be sit down, shut up students. We should all be taught to respect each other and to be leaders within our own right. And I don't think that's that hard of a thing to do. We can all go do independent research projects and then come back together and then share what our research projects, what knowledge we had got from the research projects that we had done. We could have taught each other. It could have been a respectful, democratic place where we actually respect and care about one of each other's needs and ideas. Instead, it was just a totalitarian dictatorship, and it was bullshit.